everyone, my name is Becky and this is AHandKnitLetter, a show and tell about the stuff I've made and the stuff I want to make. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's talk about knitting. Today I'm wearing the tessellated vest by Andrea Mowry. It was her Rhinebeck pattern for 2023. She had like a sweater version in the vest. This is the vest. That's why it has no sleeves. I knit this out of Queensland Co. for the navy ribbing color. Spin Cycle Castaway is the color changing yarn, and then my fluffy yarn is the Fiber Company Zero in the color Angelic. I like it a lot. I haven't worn it a lot because it's been summertime. Now it's not, so I got it on. So let's get right into stuff I've made. So first up in stuff I've made is the project that I knit for Anna from Brook Willow, her knit along that she has going on right now, and it's patterns that are printed in books or magazines. And so I chose a pattern from this book called, what is it called? Take Heart by Fiona Alice. And I chose the pattern on the front cover. This is the Queensland Beach headband. And I knit mine out of Brooklyn Tweed Imbue. This is in the color Hummingbird. And I'll let you see how pretty that is. I really enjoyed knitting this. This is a perfect yarn for cables, in my opinion, and it has some really nice tweedy, not really tweedy, but just nice little colors flecked in there. It's a beautiful green. I'll put in a video or a picture of me wearing it. I love this pattern. I'm definitely gonna make more. I'm gonna make one for my sister, and it took hardly any time to knit it, and it was a lot of fun. I was sweating it towards the end whether or not I would have enough yarn, but after I cast off, I had like this much left. So I used every bit, which I love to do, use every bit of yarn, but I also don't like the panic that induces towards the end. But yeah, I really enjoyed this pattern, and I definitely will make some more of these. Okay, so I've been doing some gift knitting for friends and family, and the first thing that I knit up was the Hill 60 hat by Gogh House of Yarn. Now I've knit this hat several times, a couple times for my husband, my sons, my brother-in-law, and it looks really nice, I think, on men. And it's just a classic kind of like World War II style watch cap, and has a nice decrease, and yeah, I knit it according to pattern. This is the large size. I used Purl Soho's Daily Wool, and this is in the color Teal Storm. This is a lovely yarn. This is a new yarn for them, and I've never worked with it before, but I will for sure. It's not a merino, but it feels like a merino. It just says American wool, I think. I don't know what it says. Something like that, but it's not merino. It might have some in there, but they don't tell you it's merino. But it feels really nice. I don't think that this would be itchy for anybody. I have confidence in giving this and it not being something that would bother even sensitive skin. My husband also tried it on and said he thought it was soft, and so yeah, I'm happy about it. I'm happy about the way it turned out. It's a very quick hat and lovely classic style. I wish I would have included this in my last video. Was a pattern roundup of 20 free patterns that are perfect for gift knits. I should have included this hat too. So yeah, Hill 60 hat by Gogh House of Yarn. Great hat to have in your pattern repertoire. A pattern I did include in my 20 plus free pattern roundup was this adorable bookmark. This is called Inside Cat, and it is a pattern by, I took notes because I'm a professional. This is Inside Cat by Anna Hrachovic. I hope I'm saying that right, but most likely not. Her pattern store is called Mochi Land, and she has a couple books too. And you probably recognize her from the tiny little gnomes she makes. But yeah, it's a bookmark. I'll let you see a little close. Got the cutest little I-cord legs and little face, tiny ears. So I knit this out of Malabrigo Rios in the color Frank Ochre. I had some leftover of that. So I made this cat out of that. And a couple things that I did different on this pattern is it has you knit 4 I-cord legs separately and then attach them to the body of the cat. But I just picked up stitches on the body and then knit them off of the body, so I wouldn't have to do any seaming. And I like that because I don't like seaming at all. So the only thing I had to seam was the ears of the cat. So that was perfect for me. Another thing that I did sort of differently, just different order, is that before I closed up the face or even stuffed it, I embroidered his little whiskers and nose and eyes on. That way I could get in there easier. She has you in the pattern to do that at the very end, but I thought I would do it this way, and I'm glad I did, because then my knots and things like that can be hidden inside. I know there's a way. I'm not very good at embroidery or cross stitch. I know there's a way to hide that, but I don't know that way. So that's what I chose to do, was to stitch that on before the head was closed up, and I could get my hand in there and do it that way. This is a great gift that does not require very much materials. You need yarn, obviously, and you need some embroidery floss. I'm sure you could use a fingering weight or lace weight yarn if you had no embroidery floss to do that. You need a little bit of fiber fill or some kind of stuffing, you know, like to stuff toys or pillows. But you could also get away with not having that too. You could probably just use scraps of bits of yarn, you know, little cut up bits of yarn and roll up into a ball and shove it inside there. You could totally do that as well. So yeah, not much required. I think, I don't know, like 30 yards maybe to make this cat. And it was a lot of fun. And it probably took, I kept, you know, picking up and putting it down because I was doing other things. What? I just realized it's like, don't do this to me. In the town that I live in, there's a really great used bookstore. It's incredibly cute. And I found this book for my friend. And first came the book and then came the knitted cat. So, but when I found it, it totally made me think of her. It's a mystery. It's a Forever Pets mystery, and it involves assault and cattery. So I know she's gonna love this. Dial M for Maine Coon. She runs a nonprofit cat rescue. So she goes around and she rescues cats and kittens off the mean streets and gives them medical care and gets them ready to find their families and gets them fixed and all that. And she does a really great job with that. And so she has a lot of love for cats, and she also has love for silliness. So I know she's gonna enjoy this very much. So wait, it's gonna say goodbye to you. Bye. Last up in stuff I've made is a Van Gogh inspiration pattern. This is the first time watching one of my videos to kind of get you up to speed. I have a book about Van Gogh's paintings, and I decided that I was going to knit something inspired by each one of the paintings in the book. And whether it be like the colors that I'm using or just kind of like the flow of the painting and, you know, like the texture, something like that would make me think of that painting. I found the most perfect yarn for Starry Night, and I can't wait to show you. This is, let's see, let me get the right side. Actually, I don't think it really matters. That's the right side. So this is Starry Night, and I use the Tiny Tassels pattern by Karen Fernandez. It is a free pattern that I have linked in my 20+ free pattern bundle on my last video. And this yarn is by Curio Fibers, and I can't remember exactly the name of the color blue that she had, what the name of this yarn was, but when I saw it, I knew it was Starry Night. It has all the colors in there, and I just loved it. So I knit the tiny tassel shawl for this, and for the tassels, these are the stars. And I just thought that would be perfect. So this is Electric Yellow by Coats & Co. Fiber, or Coats & Co. Yarn Company. And it's just a lot of fun. I really, really like it. And I think it's a perfect starry night. The tassels gave me tremendous grief. I will be honest with you. The whole pattern was fun. It was simple. You can memorize. It's just some increases until you get to the end of your yarn, and then you bind off. But the tassels, they were the worst, because I mean, the point is for them to be tiny. Because they're tiny, there's not a lot of yarn that keeps it from unraveling, because usually your tassel is long. These tassels down here don't really work their way up. So you have to get this incredibly tight right there for this not to just fall apart. And so I followed the tutorial in the pattern, and I had to make some modifications to that tutorial. The tutorial is very clear, but what's not clear is how the difference that you need to have in the size of needles, because you're gonna make these tassels using 2 straight needles, or I just use like my interchangeable set without the cord. So you need to have one very large needle and one very small needle to make these tassels on, and a darning needle. And I had to go down to, I think my bottom needle was a 2 and my top needle was a 9. And I kind of wish my top needle was a 10. And I would suggest that for you if you're going to make this. This is Sport and DK, so it may be different sizes for if you're going to use fingering weight for your tiny tassel shawl, but I would suggest a very small bottom needle, and then the size difference between the top and the bottom to be great. So like, say like you're using fingering weight and you want to do a 1 or 2 on the bottom, I would still go up to like an 8 or a 7 for the top needle. Otherwise, you're not going to get that knot tight enough at the bottom. And then this is all going to just fall out. So that's my tip on that. I think I'm going to really enjoy wearing this, even though the colors are so, bright. And I'm not usually a bright color person, but I think I am getting there. I think I'm really going to enjoy styling it with lots of different things. It'll be like a little cheerful accessory that I can have this winter, and I am really enjoying the thought of wearing this. So tiny tassels, starry night. Let's talk about stuff I'm making. So stuff I'm making, same thing. I'm making the Traveler shell by Andrea Mowry. I have the body of it done and the pockets done. So let's see here, where have I stashed the pockets? Maybe they're inside. That must be in my bag. So the body is done. I've got the shoulders seamed, and I just need to seam the underarms, and pick up stitches for the sleeve, and pick up stitches for around the collar and the buttonless button band. But I'm just like dreading it so much because like I mentioned before, my choice of yarn was not that smart for me because it's dark. It's dark and it's nubbly, and it's not very defined. These are pockets, by the way. So here's a pocket and the other pocket that I will seam onto the cardigan. But I have to pick up stitches all around here, and I just not gonna have a fun time with that because I can't hardly see it, and so that's gonna be great. So I'm procrastinating, but I need to do that. And I told myself that, previously I told myself I wouldn't cast anything on until I finished this or my shawl, but that was a lie. I did it anyway because I wanted to, but I do need to put this on because I want to wear it. So I do need to finish that. I tried it on and it fits fantastic. I love it. I know I'm gonna love wearing this. I'm not loving the idea of doing that. Tired of this, Grandpa. A shawl that I'm knitting for Casey of Young Folk Knits Mosaic Mayhem Knit Along. I'm just like another repeat into the color work. It looks exactly the same, so I'm not going to show it to you. If you're interested in looking at that, it's 2 videos back. Let's talk about stuff I want to make. So in stuff I want to make, I had the biggest surprise. The Lamb & Kid, which is a yarn shop on Bainbridge Island, but they also have an online shop and a really great Instagram and beautiful yarn. They did a giveaway for their 25,000 subscribers. They had a celebration and I won one of the kits. I cannot believe it. I don't ever really win things. So I was super excited when I found out I won a kit. This is a skein of Spin Cycle and a skein of the Birdie, which is their house yarn. And this color is Picnic and this color is Truth Bomb. So this is a kit to knit the Zoom hat by Sarah Diamond, who is the owner and dyer of the Diamond Lane yarn that they sell at the Lamb & Kid. And I'm looking forward to casting this on. I'm gonna put this on the needles. See, I'm lying. I tell lies. I said I wasn't gonna cast anything on. I need to have a hat. I need it. I need to have a hat on the needles. I can't just not have a hat. You know, a lot of people have their socks. I have to have a hat. I have to. I'm gonna cast on the Zoom hat and that's gonna be fun. At the beginning of my video, I shared a little bit of a trip that my family and I recently went on. We went down to the very bottom of Florida, almost to the Keys, and we hung out with some friends there. We had a great time. We also went to Everglades National Park. I will share some video of that at the end if you're wanting to see some of what we got up to in the Everglades. But on our way down, I wanted to see if there was any local yarn stores that we could hit up. And we were spending the night in Alabama on our way down. And I remembered that Ashley of Paper Crane Yarns has a yarn store and that she was in Alabama. And I wanted to see whether or not we would be anywhere near her shop. And we were gonna go straight through where she has her store in Alabama, and I wanted to pop in for a visit. And so her shop is absolutely adorable. It is so cute. She has curated it to the most adorable degree. I can't think of a better word to describe it. She's just got like just everything cute that you can imagine there. I really enjoyed it. You should check it out. She has a wonderful selection. She dyes yarns herself. And I'm gonna put, obviously you're watching video of the little perusal through the store. Had a great time visiting her shop. I picked up one of her skeins of yarn. I neglected to bring it downstairs with me. I don't know what I'm gonna make out of it just yet, but I wanted to pick up a souvenir and I chose that color. So thanks so much for letting me pop in. Ashley, she actually opened up a little bit early for me because I was coming through around that time, and about 15 to 20 minutes early she opened so that I could come by and say hi and shop a little bit. So thanks so much, Ashley. And Ashley has a podcast here on YouTube. I'll link it down in the description box so you can go check out her podcast and also learn about her hand-dyed yarns and a little bit more about her shop.
Hi everybody, my name is Ashley and I am a yarn store owner. This is Paper Crane Yarns, my little yarn shop. So thanks for stopping in today. I have a YouTube podcast called Paper Crane Yarns, and my website is papercraneyarns.com.
Check her out. So next up in Stuff You've Made. So in Stuff You've Made, I like to share a couple projects by viewers that like to share them with us. I know that you like to see what people are knitting because you're watching this channel, so I know you're going to enjoy seeing these projects as well. The first one is from Caroline, and it's a test knit of the Tea Time Vest by Tricot Meringue. I don't believe it's out yet. I checked on Ravelry and I checked Tricot Meringue's Ravelry store, and the pattern is not there yet. But isn't this beautiful? I want this. This is so pretty. She knit this out of a strand of fingering and a strand of mohair, and what a beautiful job, and what a beautiful photo as well. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Caroline. You did great. And the next one is an Ingrid sweater by Petite Knit, and this is from Sisters in Yarn. I think it's Heidi and Elise. I'm not sure if it's Heidi or Elise that knit this, but one of them. And she used the woolly knit in the color Rioja, I think. Rioja red, held double. And she said that she definitely wants to make another one of these, like deep burgundy color, which I think is gorgeous for fall and for winter, and I think any time of year. Let's clap for Caroline and the Sisters in Yarn. You guys did a great job, and thank you so much for sharing that with us. If you would like to share with us what you're working on or what you recently completed, we would love to see it. So you can DM me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is a.handknit.letter, and you can send me a picture of something that you've crocheted or knit or sewn. Or you can email me at AHandKnitLetter@gmail.com, and I would love to see it, and we would love to see it. Okay, let's talk about stuff you should watch on YouTube. So stuff you should watch on YouTube, I've got two podcasts for you. One is the Junction Fiber Mill podcast, Peggy and Amanda. They talk about knitting, they talk about working at the fiber mill, they share some of their projects, and it's nice to see some of the yarn that they make there knit up into projects. They have a really pretty yarn that's similar to, I would say, like the spin cycle. I would love to try that and see what I think about that. And I just recently found them, so I've been really enjoying that. And the next podcast is Purlwise, and her name is Claire, and she is a knitter. She's soft-spoken, she's enjoyable to listen to, and I really like her aesthetic and the things that the patterns that she chooses. She's going to knit a sweater by Albina McLaughlin. I can't remember the name. I don't know how I can't remember how to pronounce it, but it's like these little sailboats on it and a sailor collar. And I immediately had to put that into my Ravelry queue. It is really, really cute. Okay, so movies you can watch on YouTube. I just have one today. There's a lot more, but one recommendation from me is a movie called Crossing Delancey. It was a movie back in 1988 is when it came out. It's a romantic comedy, and it's about a girl who lives in New York City, and I think she works in like the book publishing world or something like that. And she's single, and her grandmother hires a matchmaker for her. And her grandmother is a hoot, and it's a lot of fun to watch. It's a really sweet romantic comedy. I think that you would very much enjoy it. I love it. And the clothes are really good in there. And she has a really, really nice hat. I want to be able to wear like a hat. I wear knitted hats, but I want to have the confidence to wear something other than a baseball cap or a knitted hat, like, you know, like a fedora or or something of that nature. But I just don't have the confidence, but I want to. One day I'll aspire to that. Okay, so I haven't finished any books recently. I'm still reading the same 2 books that I have been reading. I have finished a recent audio podcast on Audible. I've mentioned here before, I am a huge espionage genre fan. Like John le Carré is one of my favorite authors, and so I love James Bond, and I love anything like that. But there's a true, I guess you would call it true crime, but it is a podcast on Audible called Mother-Daughter Russian Spy, and it is produced by the BBC, and it's narrated by Rosamund Pike, who is a great narrator, and she's an actress, and she played Jane in the, I don't know what year that was, the Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley and Matthew McFadden, Matthew McFadden. Faden? He's a gentleman, he won't care. Anyway, there's 9 episodes, and it's about this woman named Cindy Murphy, and she has a top job as, I think, in finance in Manhattan, and she lives the dream. Like, she lives outside of Manhattan in the suburbs. She's got 2 little girls, but she is a deep undercover spy planted here by Russia to spy and send back secrets about the US to the Russian government. And this is all true, and it is crazy, and it's a really good podcast. So if you like anything like that, you like true crime, and it's not like gory true crime, which is nice, but it's still got that element of suspense, I think you would enjoy Mother Neighbor Russian Spy. That's all I have to show and all I have to tell. Well, not really. I'm going to show some footage of the Everglades, but I won't tell anything about it. You just have to guess what's happening. Could be anything. But if you want to stick around for that, there's just like 2 minutes at the end. Thank you so much for joining me today. I wish you well, and until next time, bye-bye.